My name is Leah Hextall, as was just in my introduction, and I started my career at CKX Television in Brandon, Manitoba. I was the local sports reporter and anchor. My first beat, covering the Brandon Wheat Kings of the Western Hockey League and the Canadian Hockey League. 20 years later, I was hired by ESPN as the first female to call play-by-play in the NHL at a full-time basis for a national broadcast. When people ask me after my first full season in the role, how was it? I tell them that I survived. I survived this, and this, and this. It's charming. I survived being told that I suck. I got hired because of my gender. I got hired because of my last name. That I am ruining the sport of hockey. And that I'm ruining it for every woman who ever wants to come behind me because the experiment of Leah Hextall has failed. And we wonder why we don't have more women in the game. I want to be really clear about something here. I love this game. This game is literally family for me. I have 3 generations who have played in the National Hockey League, starting with my grandfather, Brian Hextall. I affectionately refer to him as Pops. He was a member of the New York Rangers. He led the league in scoring for multiple seasons, and in 1940, he scored the 0-2 winner against the Toronto Maple Leafs to win the Stanley Cup. He is a member of the illustrious Hockey Hall of Fame. His ring sits on my finger, and it is there every time I call a game. On top of that, my uncles Brian and Denny combined for over 20 seasons in the NHL. And then there was my cousin Ron, who tended net for the Philadelphia Flyers and is now the general manager of the Pittsburgh Penguins. I was his flower girl back in the day, and he says that his wife Diane made him wear that tux, but I think he just thought he could rock it. And, I think he did pretty well, but I keep that in my back pocket in case I ever need to, share it with the lovely folks of you and keep him humble. And last but not least, there is my father. Look at those chops. Didn't play in the NHL, but he did make it to a training camp for the St. Louis Blues, and he was a member of the Portage Terriers Centennial Cup winning team back in the day when he played in the Manitoba Junior Hockey League. I never grew up playing the game. There actually was no organized girls' league when I was young, but I sat around kitchen tables and heard endless stories about hockey. And I always just loved going to the rink, and I loved being on the outdoor pond. Just as soon as you hit the rink and the smell of the French fries, the sound of a blade against the ice, and my favorite thing by far, still to this day when I'm going to do a hockey game, is after the flood, just looking at that perfection, that glass, and wondering what story is about to be accomplished on it by these incredibly talented players. So as an adult, the fact that I grew up to be able to talk about the sport and watch it, I'm not sure that it gets any better than that. And for the majority of my career, I have spent a great deal of time trying to fit in, trying to be one of the boys. But here's the fact. I'm not one of the boys. I never will be. I don't want to be. I am Leah. What I have is unique to offer to this sport and to help build it and to create conversation and diversity of thought. In hockey, we are often scared to speak. We are often scared to be the first to try something new. We don't want to rock the boat. It's built into our culture. It's who we are. But today I am going to speak, and today I'm going to say some things that, quite frankly, many of you might not agree with, and that might rock the boat a little bit. But I think they're important. And the first part of it is that in hockey, at the highest level, if we continue to hire the most qualified candidate for the job, we will never see women in all areas of the game, or it be the norm. And this is why. How do you become a qualified candidate when you can't gain experience because of lack of opportunity? I'm going to say that one more time. How do you become a qualified candidate when you can't gain experience because of a lack of opportunity? Women face this in all areas, at all levels in our game. And I believe that there are some lessons to be learned in my journey to being a first that can create conversation and open doors of opportunity for other women in the game.